What is the worst thing to happen to you during sex? While having car sex, had a very nice elderly woman pull over to make sure we were okay. Used to have kind of that roll around sex where you drastically change positions and just going at it. We were on the floor and we somehow tipped this heavy ass lamp over and a metal part hit her square in the lip. Busted it pretty decently. We worked at the same place and her excuses for it were terrible. That's all I remember. I once broke a guy's banjo string. Once we had finished, there was blood on both of us and neither of us knew who was bleeding, until he started to feel the pain. D-bag ex-boyfriend thought he was a sex god cause he was slightly above average size-wise. Well, I was not turned on. No lube plus him just trying to get it in tore my vag. I'm bleeding and telling him to stop. He does. Then just says I'm going to go finish in the bathroom without asking if I'm okay or what's going on. We were exes not long after that. I came inside my girlfriend and pulled out and it got all over my bed. Before we had a chance to clean it up, my cat jumped on the bed right in it. Sorry Bender. He did not like that bath. You got cum on both pussies lol. Sorry. Couldn't resist. Had a one-night stand that started and ended terribly. His kisses were like sandpaper. He fingerbanged violently and without commitment, and then complained about how dry I was. I was at my wit's end but recommended that he go down on me to moisten things up and was hoping he would be good at something. Instead he told me that he doesn't do that shit, laid me back down and poured a bottle of water on my crotch, seriously thinking that's what was going to help. We were both pretty drunk but I think I may have taken this guy's virginity looking back. I told him I had to pee, kicked my clothes into the other room and snuck out. Please sex gods, never again. The only thing I got from this was a funny story and, reluctantly, a wet crotch. It didn't happen to me. I did it to them. I was on vacation and met a guy the first got along with really well. We wound up back at his place. While we were in the middle of things, I got a really bad leg cramp, so I started saying oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, and he thought I was having an orgasm and kept going. I accidentally kicked him in the face trying to get my legs out from under him. Sorry Sam. We were in the middle of it when we both got hit with horrible stomach aches. I was in the middle of asking him to stop when he abruptly bolted toward the only bathroom. Apparently, something we had eaten earlier that day was less than fresh, and, due to circumstances of the position we were in, I didn't get to the toilet first and had to wait in the fetal position until it became vacant. It was not a good time. Bonus story. I learned that I was allergic to latex in the worst possible way. Same partner. A couple of years prior to the poo-splosion experience. Young love. Two situations. First one is funny. Me and my former girlfriend were doing doggy style and my mom walked in the room. Needless to say, that relationship didn't last long. Second one was a bit scary. I was going down on this girl and, for some reason unknown to me to this day, my vision went black and I started to seizure. Was rushed into the hospital with a one-night stand tagged along and they called my mom. Did a lot of exams and tests but they never found out why I had one. It was just that random. Needless to say, that one-night stand lasted longer than I thought it would. Her little rat dog of a chihuahua snuck in the room while we're and attacked me. You have no idea how fast a man can move when there is a set of tiny evil teeth combing at your junk. Had my cervix hammered at the wrong angle and bruised it. I almost went to the ER but suffered through after some drive. Google made me feel like I wasn't going to die for once. I bled a little but the pain lasted days. For sure was waddling to walk for the first day. Guys never believe it, but too big of a dick is totally a problem. I was eating her out when she began to climax. She had her thighs on my shoulders with her legs up. She began squeezing my neck really hard. Not wanting to ruin her orgasm, I kept going until I passed out from her choking me out like that. She thought she killed me. I was only out for like a minute, but to her it was like 5. I bought some fancy, organic lube to try with my boyfriend at the time. We get down to business and my vagina starts stinging a little bit. Then a lot. Then full on burning. We quickly stop and he says that his bits are feeling a little tingly but not the level I'm on. I grab the lube bottle and take a better look at it. Just says normal, organic, unscented lube. I spend 5 minutes looking all over this damn bottle before I find the problem in the very last listed ingredient, menthol. My vagina continued to burn for the next hour. One time during sex the cat decided he needed pets and laid on my chest and stared at my husband. All I'm gonna say is if you do one of those spicy food challenges at a restaurant, make sure you use some mouthwash or something and wash your hands really well before sexy time. I was getting a hand job from my girl now ex and NGL I just fell asleep. I was really tired from the night before, and the hand job wasn't that good either. She noticed when I started snoring. Newly pregnant with our first baby and had some weird morning sickness but also was insanely horny. Was riding my husband and ended up throwing up all over him and the bed when I climaxed. Was on top and went to kiss him as he was coming up and cracked my nose on his big ass forehead. It made a pop and I was so sure it broke, but ended up only being sore for a days. He picked on me making Owen Wilson jokes for like 2 days after because I kept freaking out about if it was crooked or not. He was going to town on me with some toys while eating me out. Right as I came super hard. Saw stars I blasted a giant queef right in his sweet face. In my defense, he was the one cramming a bunch of air all up in there. The guy had a sudden pain. One side of his penis and groin turned black and blue. Had to go to the Thought I broke his penis. It was a blood clot that moved there due to what was going on, the erection. Gagged on my boyfriend's dick mid-deep throat and let out a giant fart. She started shaking and hyperventilating, mumbling the name XXX over and over. Had no idea what was happening, I just cradled her. Apparently that was her best friend's name that raped her years ago and we were getting so rough she had a PTSD flashback. We went out for a walk after and ordered pizza. I was banging my girl doggy style. Her dog jammed his snout in my crack and started licking my asshole. Closest I ever got to a threesome. I once passed out mid-climax. I didn't eat that day and I just collapsed on her. She thought I straight up died on her. Wasn't too serious but was definitely not fun. Tore my frenulum. Frenulum. Not a doctor. Worst for me physically. Pulling both hamstrings. First one, then the other while compensating. Worst for me mentally. My girlfriend's mom walking in on us. 3 times now. Bonus afterward when I heard her gossiping with a friend about it over the phone. Might just want to let the girlfriend's mom know ahead of time so she can find a seat before everything starts up. Started farting uncontrollably, in rhythm to my thrusts. Thank God they were dry. My boyfriend let loose with a loud fart during some fancy moves. I knew he was a keeper when we both just died laughing. We've been married a decade now. She was sitting on my face, and I rolled my head back right when she came down. My front tooth pierced her about 2 centimeters away from her clitoris. By her urethra. She moaned and drew away for a second, then jumped up to the bathroom. I looked down and saw a significant pool of blood on my chest. I remember the sound of an ear piercing, like rapid-fire puncturing, but with my tooth. Not me but a friend of mine blew a brain aneurysm. Halfway through breakup sex ended on decent terms. There was one thrust way too hard and I got sharp pain. Yelped out in pain and we paused for a second but went back a little gentler. At the end I stood up and my entire torso was sore and sharp pain at the same time. I waited about 30 minutes, sobbing on the floor before I let him take me to the 3 hours and a CT scan later. Turns out he f***ed me so hard that he burst a cyst on my ovary.